Oh, Martin, you're here.
I jumped on my freaking skin then. Hiya, Karen. Look.
Hello. So I take my picture off for the the broadband thingy bob, whatever it is, width band. How are you, Martin?
I'm good. I'm always good. Of course I'm fucking good. I'm not flat earth.
You're a little bit Dalek-y like. Why are you Dalek-y like?
I'll clear my dog. Just been doing shit. Uploading, downloading. I'll come back now.
As Karen said, though, that my Wi-Fi does drop in and out, though. It's painful, but I will look into it, though.
Yeah, but that's slowly falling away as a signaling. It's not really this microphone adjustment thing with this linear software completely working out what volume has to be for you.
I think it's funny, Gary, because I can just imagine you swinging backwards and forwards while you're talking.
I've only been rocking on this site.
He's not visiting you, is he?
Oh my God! Yeah, I did invite you, dear.
I've been affected by Karen.
Oh, I knew it would be my fault.
You get sex swing.
I knew it'd be my fault.
But you've got a picture. That's what I'm trying to promote. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I put a Desperado up yesterday, but not many people takes care of it. Somebody put a video out. It was Stagart, it was. You know, the usual where's I up bullshit. But he was saying, like, love is a cliche. Insulting. It's like, how can you think that love is a cliche when, you know, wars are fought over it? People die over it. People jump over buildings off it. This is not a cliche. It's an overwhelming emotion. It dictates your existence and what everybody wants. What's the matter with you? So I put up, and I just read the Desperado. And I'm crap at fucking narrating, especially poetry. Am I gone invisible again?
No, you're fine.
What's happening?
I was so excited too because I was waiting for that cuckoo clock to go off behind you.
It won't go off. I got a new clock I got this week, a steel one, a metal one out the front. It looks like a railway train clock type thing. I put it in the front garden now. It's really bad the weather, yeah. So bad.
I'm like the cat waiting for the bird to come out, like.
You know, a long freaking wait then. May I suggest the clock from Cologne Cathedral? That one goes for a walk. And the bird looks quite nice too. It's a really cool one. Have you seen it? Look at pictures. They come out, do a little dance and go back in again. Clockwork backwards.
I always love clockwork.
Same, yeah. I don't know what it is with me. I've always had an interest in like fixing small stuff. My son's got the same thing. And he's into all this Arduino computer component things. He can make me anything with them. It's brilliant. I asked him to make
logical sense.
Maybe said to me, so clever, but I said, could you make me something that could sort of detect an emotion? Yeah, like, well, lack of detection. Which he says you can. So I'm trying to persuade him not to be one that using Arduino. He's such a glow tad, it's unbelievable. So on this the other day, it's my old grandfather's Timex gold watch and shot. So I can't do it. It's too delicate. I need to take it to a watch. I would love to wear that.
Aww.
Your grandfather's dead watch. Yeah. The watch is dead. I blame you, Geller.
Martin.
So, did I just hear somebody make a sigh for the clock?
Oh, yeah, me.
Oh, yeah.
Poor clock.
Oh. My heart breaks for you.
Martin.
It's a really unusual concept, though, because time is unusual, isn't it? You know, this arrow of time that goes forward, and a clock that's invented by us ticks away each second. It's a really unusual phenomenon. But and all of the ticks of all the different clocks, you know, that one's 200-year-old, that one's from the 20s. They've all got an old, really old sort of song to it, but they all go in like a tune. Well, like either, any of them. It's really strange. They've got their set like, it's really cool. So, like either. Weird, isn't it?
It's like jazz.
It's like jazz. And some of them come through really loud. When you focus on one of them, then that one comes in louder. You with me? And then you can focus on that one. The other ones will drop away and that one will come louder. You can isolate them.
It's funny because the irony of what I bring up, even when I'm thinking about things and all these things bleed together in my brain, the concept of a clock coming from a sundial, you know, people watching time as it pass and fly, and then the actual mechanic measuring these moments, which actually flow continuously in our environment. Now we just, you know, we just count those seconds and watch that sand drop.
Yeah, but time's such an unusual thing. If you were sat in a police cell, that time would drag like hell. I mean, an hour would be like a century. It would be hell. But yeah, if you're, you know, having a time of your life and time just flies, as they say, and it does. You can go out to a concert you've been looking forward to, and that event will be over in an hour. You won't even know it happens. It's that quick. So time, with, you know, obviously that thing with if you're on night shift, your brain changes its patterns and everything else. There's more to it than that. We interpret time differently, and the clock's just set to man to give us something to so we can look at. This is the time, but is it? Is it the actual time? Well, it's not, is it?
There's a strange thing here in Newfoundland. I noticed every time I go towards the west, and I would drive out to see my kids. Every time I go towards the west, it felt like it took forever, but on the way home, I'd be coming east, home in no time. And I'd always think to myself, why is it while I'm driving to the west, it seems like it takes so much longer? And I don't care what anybody says. People say lots of different things to me. I say, no. I said, I feel it. When I'm going west, it feels like it takes longer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
It's as
what
if
that
you,
is.
I'm with you in western direction, and then you're going this straight time when you go east.
I never really thought about that before.
Hour when you drive.
Martin, can I just say that Ceres wasn't here last time that you were talking about your video, the video you made the next day about our history. Would you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, I suppose. There's still many aspects of this. I mean, looking into the Civil War and, the fate of what happened to North American Indians, that's quite a mind blow. How we wiped them out. I said with smallpox blankets, that's a bit of a psyop, that is. But Indian Wars, turns out we wiped them out on a vast scale and their food source, yeah. But we didn't do that. We took their children, we put them into full-order training schools where they would be assimilated into the white consciousness. And you can literally there's a photographic process you can from just after the Indian Wars, and then by 1900, you can see people like Sitting Bull, Indian chief. Next thing you see is in a three-piece suit working in Buffalo Bill's fucking circus. Complete sell-off, pure westernized. So it was just like a new world order of its day, the way they assimilated everyone into their collective. And if they didn't want it, they were executed and murdered. And they did. There was one massacre by that Sherman, that Civil War general, the one that went to Havana. They killed 800 people for they were hungry in their reservation that they'd been put on, and they killed a stray cow. And the penalty, we decided, was 800 of them should be executed. So this shit was really deep. The psyop of the American Civil War, they did not have Napoleonic-sized battles, 150,000 to either side. Basically, if it was them sized battles, you can go in the First World War, you can go to Flanders today, and the landscape is still scarred. You can see the shells, holes still there, the trench systems are still there. I've seen them, okay? But ever bombardments that happened in the American Civil War, 3,000 artillery pieces, and they had shells, and they had in them days, they would just come out the howitzers then. Yet there's no landscape to match these battles, not even in Gettysburg. So then the photographs, you look into it, and you find out the Gardner, official war photographers, admits freely, when you look into the research, that he set up all the photographs of the dead. They found one or two in the field, they brought them up, propped them by the wall, took the snap, and it became an picture. But they were all set up. And next you can find there's one trench with a couple of dozen bodies in it, and that's the max. But when you mag them up, I dropped their hands because dummies. So the American Civil War, I'm not saying that there weren't armies that didn't mobilize, but months after the last battle had taken place, 10 months, there's a reenactment. It was the British and the Germans after the First World War. They wouldn't be meeting on the fucking front line 10 minutes later to pretend to have a battle in play. Each set piece battle of the American Civil War was nothing but a reenactment. I'm saying that I don't believe these vast amounts of people died because there's no photographic evidence, even though there was war correspondence. I've got plenty of books here on the subject and statements, letters. They talk of battles, but they don't talk of these vast dead. So that's what the psyop for basically these huge amounts of people who died in our country, and the nationalism and everything else that goes along with it. They were not good people. Look at he actually put in one of his most famous statements that he wanted
Martin, I think Marty wants to ask something, but 1 second, we've got someone new in the hangout now. Richard, you've met Richard. Do you remember you met him at the Space Centre? Richard.
Oh, fucking hell. No, I didn't know he had a real name. I just thought he was Beer Guy. Beer Guy.
Yeah.
He might have been.
Beer Guy's just the common law name.
Yeah, man.
Being good?
Yeah, I'm good, Martin. Yeah.
Hang on, Marty.
Go on, B.
Sorry, Marty wants to ask a question, I think. Marty, what did you want to say?
What's that?
You wanted to ask a question?
Oh yeah, it was funny that Martin brought that stuff up about the Indians because I live in Washoe Indian Territory. A couple old reservations here in my town, and one of them is the Stewart Indian Reservation, what they call it. Historic buildings that were built by and Nevada Prisstone, and they have the Stewart School is what they call it. Starting old regalia and do the dances, chants, their food and everything. But just last year, they were actually allowed to start Taiwan down at school, where
Really?
thousands of children were taken from their family and brainwashed basically into becoming American. And
Yeah. And you can see the transformation from these native clothes and then white clothes. It's really heavy.
Yeah.
Just like a book.
But didn't go along with it. They were done.
Of the adults who were just free, but they took the children who they still involved into the whole Christian culture.
Doing at school and found didn't go along with the way things were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And
That's the real story.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the 1984 book, the way they lay down history. And no, I've noticed there's some aspects of history, even now, today, even without any any deep thing, people will fucking look back on history and see a different what actually went on. Even in our time frame, back towards the Kuwait War, say, in 91, people will have a different version of the events actually carried out, because they will steer the story in a different way over a decade, and then the events that actually happened and the news feeds of the day will be further away from your memory, and you will create new memories for that event. And this is how they're doing it. It's all they've done it with us before it. They just lay down a narrative, and us, the masses, the weak masses, just lap it up. I love it.
Well, D had something on the way to that space centre. Well, tell him about the Mandela effect that we were talking about, D, about Mandela.
Which one?
Well, about the fact when you were at school.
How's library spell?
Library.
What?
Library.
Liary?
Oh, all right then, because I remember looking it up about a year ago and had an eye in it, like library. I was thinking, what an odd way to spell that. I looked at it the other day and it was that way.
Oh, I'm terrible at spelling though, mate, so I could have just spelled
Somebody put on Stargod's vlog, right? Stargod's done a vlog, right? And somebody put on his comments, because he spelled weaponising wrong. Are you competing with Martin Luther for misspelling video for you cheeky bastards underneath?
This Mandela effect I've come across is the fact that we've moved from Sagittarius arm right on the outside of the galaxy onto the Orion arm of the galaxy on the other side and more in the middle.
Well, we wouldn't know about that.
And you've got Neil deGrasse Tyson who can confirm this, because he did in an interview asking where we are in the galaxy, and he says the Sagittarius arm.
That means nothing to me, because I don't really do space like that. I just think it's turning around up there. I don't actually believe space as such, or the galaxy.
Yeah, no, neither do I now. So it's becoming less of an issue with me on the old Mandela side.
Anything all that. Even though I was a bad glowbed and I collected pictures of people, I even got one for a year of a nebula. But when you dig deep, right, it's actually a bullshit. 3 years ago I was reading Leonard Susskind's The Fucking Black Hole War, the war between Leonard Susskind and Stephen Hawking, about whether or not particles are emitted from a black hole and they have to disperse over to the theory that they just, they keep on going, swallowing up other black holes and they become a super duper massive black hole. And then their evidence for the black hole in the centre of our galaxy is, right, these couple of white dots are going really fast around this white dot here, aka this white dot here is a supermassive black fucking hole.
Oh, dear.
Really?
It sounds silly now, doesn't it? It just sounds so stupid.
Well, no, Orion's in the same place in the sky it was when I was 15. It's by there, and it is now. And you think, what's happening up there? I don't think it's applicable to what's happening down here. Horoscopes, I think that's cool. But I think we're looking at the whole thing of reality completely wrong. We've been brainwashed to that extent. I think it works more naturally. I think all of that is probably something to do with us. A more level, I believe.
Yeah, that's where Santos comes into it, I think. Santos Piccini, I think he's definitely got a good idea of what's going on up there.
Wow, he leaves me fucking behind that, man. Woo. Santos,
we'll have to try and get on next time. Got him on a hangout.
Santos.
Yeah, we have hangouts with Santos.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
You with him? He's a good guy to speak to.
I know he is.
He's a really nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's a lovely guy. He's just so deep in his, he can explain the Hindu or the Vedic version of reality to a T, an Indian master. But when he's using all these Indian phrases, nobody understands. It becomes really difficult. And what he's saying, you should do it in. I think you should just do a course.
Well, if you look back at his stuff, he kind of does in a way a lot of his stuff now.
It is a course, but it's still complicated. But he's layman, it is.
The words some of the words are.
I've just got into this, so yeah, it's well over my head for sure.
It's like listening to series talk about his research. much, you know, like when he starts talking about things, just so much information, isn't there, series?
My camera crew was dead earlier, right, Pat? I was looking online for a P900 to see if they had one in cash generators. I'm trying to get one, right? Camera, and I couldn't take photographs. And it said basically my SD card was locked. I didn't know, right? And I Googled and I looked into it and I did my head in. But I took the SD card, there's a little tiny switch on the side. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, you've got to be careful with that.
Little tiny switch, you can lock it. So the pictures can't bloody
Yeah,
delete or
you've got to be
anything.
careful.
You knew that, did you, Kat?
I
didn't know
did.
that.
It's the first thing someone says is, just mind that little button thing, you know, little switch thing on the side. Don't touch it.
I've even seen it. I never even seen it on there before.
Yeah,
You can. I've had loads. It's weird.
it's something you've just got to learn, isn't it? Those little memory cards were there. They didn't used to...
They used to have them on the little floppy disk things, you know, after the big floppy disks, and then there was the smaller, like cassette ones. They used
I remember.
switch at the bottom to lock it or unlock it as well.
I got a stack of floppy disks, but they're no good now, are they? I like to
No.
keep in data on, but only like,
I've got a USB adapter thing, Martin, and I can put them on. I can use them still.
I picked up a new PC last week over there. I tried it out. There's nothing wrong with it. I formatted it. It's really nice. It's got really good processing power. It's got 800 gigabytes of memory, not a terabyte, but not far off. It didn't pay much for it either. Really use 3 computers at the same time. That was just stupid, wouldn't it? Watching everything on the internet. I'm all on.
You could have 3 hangouts going at one, Martin. You could have 3 going at once.
I do. Keep an eye on, you know, like basically no sheep on the flat earth, right? And that's what's been happening. It's like with them chat fucking raids, like no sheep on the, basically I was trying to keep an eye on the peeps, like, and hoping they didn't get everyone into trouble on, so I could sort of make sure that everyone didn't basically threaten anyone, abuse anyone, or multi-thumbs down anyone, even though I didn't feel comfortable in the slightest with it. But didn't I thought it did implement some rules. But that hasn't come off well for us at all. Like I knew it wouldn't vilify ourselves. What we need to do is show people we're better. So people who are looking in from the outside think, I want to be like that. These people know how to live their lives, you know, and, you know, not saying it's too much to lose, but just something to people look up to and think, fucking hell, they like changes and excellence. I want to be like that. I'm depressed. I want to be happy. And that's the key. So we go back, not that we're crazy football hooligans. That's not going to help. We need to.
Well, this one I like what you've been exposed did the other day with the bombing side of things, where rather than going in negative for flat Earth hangouts, getting all these people to thumb up and put nice comments in the chat. That'd brilliant.
Yeah, I went with the one with Odd, but that was like 500 people in one time, and people who when they went in their chats were like left flabbergasted, didn't know how to take it. You know, they'd only had a few people in their chat. Suddenly there was like 500.
Jimmy Brown, when I was in there the other night, and he was so chuffed, man. He was so
get his views out. That's what they should do to make it active. Is when they're in one hangout, go and visit another Flat Earth channel to get their views up and help them, thumbs them up and support another channel and get us all up there on the format of YouTube. Now that would be a good productive way to get this forward, and then going around causing shit. It's like, imagine if you was in a vegan hangout and a load of meat eaters come in and start talking, fucking minced beef and onion pies. You're gonna be pissed off, aren't you? They don't, you know, a lot of these people don't fucking care. We're gonna have something on a ball.
Yeah, a lot of people don't care, do they?
No, they just don't get it. They don't sit and think hard enough. But when they don't understand the heliocentric model, what are you going to do? I said to a boy once, a little, I said, how wide do you think the sky is then? So have a guess. 1 million miles? You don't even know, Nigel, do you? No. He had no concept of it was, so he didn't even think that far away from his reality. Street, shit, crack, drugs, money, social, that sort of life. Anything outside of that, and that's a good percentage of Britain, I think, that way, guys. I live in an area where most people think like that. That's how the mainstream of Britain is, anyway. Lost in burger land and television, that's it.
Who cares anymore? It's just ego and it's ego.
They care, but the only way they care, Karen, is when they're, and what I find, the only thing that makes people jump to attention is something going to do some damage to their pocket. Finances. That's what bugs people more than anything. If maybe they had some hyperinflation come in and we ended up like Venezuela or something, people were like, no, now we have to put our foot down, now something has to be done, because everyone's well complacent to this new society, and it's completely totalitarian. If they can't see it, they're fucking nuts. There's armed police on the streets of our cities, and I tell you what, boy, hold it. Oh, he runs off like that, he fucking shoots him dead. He's Brazilian, because he got brown skin.
Well, Martin, they obviously don't want people going out and voting, do they? Because people are going to think, oh, I might not go out now, I might stay at home in case there's trouble. The police are on the road. They obviously don't want people to go and vote.
I built a bird this week as well. Bang on. That's exactly what's going on. They were having a bit of trouble that day with the Labour. He was getting a bit of actually guess somewhere. He might be the next Prime Minister. And then this happens. Bilderberg as well's gone quiet. Trump's managed to get in the country and evade the 1.5 million persons fucking thing that was signed to keep him out of the country. It was completely ignored, by the way. So that was clever. Straight from Israel to here. That was ignored. What's happening is all just the meats, what the Vatican is saying. It's all just falling into place as we speak. It's times.
Well,
the end game, what I think.
Yeah, it's a game.
The end game, what their end game is. Well, they're just going to be completely flattening. Like what we're saying now, these things in the future, going the way it's going, we could say stuff like this, have a knock at the door for being thought of as subversive or staying against. You know, the same thing happened in Germany in 1939, not years. We're going like Germany in the 30s. You know, we're going down the same roads of just ignorant and fucking belief for a better life, which we are.
Yeah, but it's like the Globe was on my Facebook. I put all this stuff out, like police state and all that kind of stuff, and I actually get comments with some people saying like they actually feel safer with these armed cops around.
That's the danger.
It's just what you're saying.
That's the danger. Have they seen coppers battering a father and his son in the head with a truncheon because they were standing watching a football match? Have they seen a police Land Rover mount the pavement to run over old ladies and children? I have. Have you seen an army of police turn up in Stonehenge to batter shit out to the crowd? I know what the police are capable of, and I tell you what, we're not safe with them with guns.
No,
we're not.
I agree. Especially as it's all false to start with, and it's a game.
It is exactly that. So if they're all based on a lie, they all went to have some commemoration today in London, right? And all of the police that were involved in this bullshit. Now, play that back in your mind, which is already distant in the consciousness of people, by the way, and altered, when you've got the coppers telling everyone in a restaurant to hit the fucking floor, stay down there. But the coppers that are standing in there, right? Not only that, the person who's holding this camera, taking the footage, is not on the floor. He's standing up in the fucking restaurant, he's laying down on the floor, apparently cowering. The unarmed police is screaming at them, get on the fucking floor, and there's somebody standing up who's permitted to stand up on a mobile phone. So
staged.
These people then are in this thing today and they are pretending cry. She comes up and she's going, and her eyes are just fucking dry, her cheeks are just dry. You can just see the difference between grief and put on feigned emotion. You just can't. And it's all just put on, all of it.
It's really bad.
Fucking so transparent.
We just live in a lie. Everything's a lie.
It's not a lie.
It is.
Yeah, to take away civil liberties and the freedom of speech that we think we have, but we haven't. We think we're in a democracy, but we're nowhere near a democracy. We're in a new, really sinister era of humanity. If people can't see it, well, obviously they can't, because that's how sinister it is.
Subversion. Subversion. They just use subversion all the time through the television. They're just channeled. Everything is channeled. People realise everything is channeled. It's not a free thought out there.
On a bus in the morning. No, there's no original fun. And everyone's talking about the bullshit of the television and so on a game show or a reality show. Like if it's like talking about characters in the soap, like, oh, do you think she'll have the baby? Oh, I don't really know. And you're like, and this is the mindset. This is what we're dealing with. Television is their existence. That tells them to go outside and run in the road. There we are. I'm telling you, it's just frightening.
Do you think this is why they bought like the virtual television in? You know, like Big Brother and all these kind of programs like virtual TV. Is that why they brought it all in?
Well, apart from when they dumped analog to bring in and everyone in the whole world had to buy a new television set with an excellent earner from the old-fashioned valve telly, which is really easy to fix, by the way. These new devil boxes, well, I put it down to the Black Mirror, because Black Mirror has always been used in witchcraft for thousands of years. It's a reflectionless mirror. It's actually a mirror. But now, across the room looking at us, we got a black mirror there, and the black mirror traces lies, spells, and programming, and nothing else. So I think this demonic play is a real aspect, okay? I think there's a darkness happening right the way through reality. Yeah, I can feel it emanating through reality. There's good people, but with this awakening, the good people have become, and the bad people seem to have become worse. Be more suspect.
I think that might be Martin. Martin, maybe nobody's really changed. It's just we have. We've got more peace in our heart. This whole
reality's changed.
So they look worse.
I was born in the 60s, Karen. I don't know what you have, but I've seen how people have changed. When I was a kid, everyone had the front doors open. The society was trusting. You know, it was a lovely society when I was a kid in Britain. It really was. Even for the bullshit it was. The brainwashing was still there. You know, we go to war. The guys who think they would die for their country, but really it was for the banks. They didn't know. Everything was a lie. But, you know, there was still elements of freedom in society, free festivals and the like. By 1985, they closed everything down. So, you know, to this extent of the New World Order, you know, carrying out its plan to the T. By the letter, they will ship events to meet the calendar and their number pattern, which I'm following, by the way, and I can predict events. I called the last two, Karen. I made a post the day before the Manchester event called False Flag General Elections, and in that I said there's a general we're going to have a false flag event, a big one. It'll be as big as 9/11 for Britain, just a bombing. A couple of days later, I make another post and say, well, they're not finished. We're having another one before. The day after, keep calling them every time.
Maybe you should stop calling them then, because if you stop calling them, maybe they'll stop happening. I'm going to start blaming you in a minute.
We've already talked about this. Martin's very sensitive and probably a bit psychic anyway, and he just knows things.
I was only joking.
It's all right, D.
I thought that effect as well. Is he involved, because it was so shit up? But it's not. It's if you follow the pattern, you can see which way this is going. You know, the shift dates with the royals, like Prince Harry, shifting his birthday, inducing Diana, so he can be born on the summer solstice. They'll shift things to battles, everything instead. They'll shift to meet these specific, evil belief, weird ass religion, and fit it into the map. And it all works.
Harry's not even Charles's either, is he? So
Stuart just really, really ill. I think he just died, didn't he?
I don't watch the news anymore. So
well, they assimilated him into the royal family, no problem. Even though he looks nothing like any of them, and there's not many gingers in the royal family. She's blonde. All the family's blonde.
Well,
that was not school.
Things that you believed in. You imagine a whole country believed in the royal family and was proud of it, and we had jubilees in the 70s, and now you think I've been to Buckingham Palace. I was very like you were for your country, and now you just think all of it's a load of rubbish. And tomorrow's coming.
Karen, that was brilliant. The jubilee in 1977.
Yeah, I remember that in the park.
You've ever seen
parties in the park?
Yeah. Well, we had street parties. We did.
The first street party I remember was the Diane Charles wedding, because I was only born in 77.
Right. Yeah,
too young. I know that this doesn't cover Marty or it doesn't cover Wilson because they're not from the UK, but Dee, Gary, Frankie, and Ceres. It doesn't cover Ceres. So Dee, Gary, Frankie, Patricia and Richard, are you voting tomorrow?
No. Joking. Fucking YouTube asked me to ask my subscribers would they vote. Asked me if I'd be a political lobbyist for them. They didn't ask me any particular persuasion. They asked me would I ask my subs to vote.
Well, I'm pretty sure Dee doesn't vote anyway. But Gary, you going to vote? No, I'm not voting either.
Voting for.
So we're voting for me, Dee. Lord Such, vote for him.
I don't think Richard's going to vote either. Marty wants to say something again?
His hands up. I don't know why.
Because he wants to ask a question.
Well, actually, I was telling you, my little brother showed up, so I got to go. But one dude, he's the only other one of us.
Hey, mate. What's happening? Good to see you.
Hello.
So yeah, but I got to go. I got to take a work. So
thank you, Marty. Thanks for joining us.
Try, mate. Good to meet you.
Can I just bye, Marty? Can I just say something? Wilson's been really quiet. Wilson, is there anything you want to say?
Well, we didn't finish with Patricia and Frankie on your last question yet, did we?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Frankie says she's not voting. Patricia?
No, I'm not voting either. Can't be bothered.
I am.
You'll be raining tomorrow, Frankie. You're not going to go wet for them anyway.
Richard said he's voting as well, by the sound of it, I think.
Are you voting, Richard?
Yeah, but I'm going to put my own box and I'm going to put I am the master, no one else.
Yay.
Mostly send my voting paper back to the with written on it something like want to be responsible for anyone putting a gun on my head, let alone putting one on somebody else's.
I like your idea, Richard.
On your OT, you put the earth as flat?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, I
You
could.
can actually read them.
Yeah, it'd just be defaced, won't it? They'll just say it's been defaced.
Rip it up from the bin.
We had one flat earther. I'm just saying that somebody's going to read that.
I might have to go to the polling booth and write flat earth across my ballot paper.
I only got to go far. Mine's across the road. I'm still not going now.
Could I just say, is Wilson there? Wilson, are you there?
Rory McPhee's just levitated. Amazing levitating clock. It's weird. It's not a clock.
I don't know where Wilson's gone. Martin, I wanted you to explain a bit more, because Ceres wasn't there on the last hangout. I don't think Richard was. You were explaining that you don't think any of these buildings that are around us are as old as they say they are.
I think what's happened is with the bigger buildings in places like St. Petersburg or Moscow or even London, these buildings, these big megalithic huge stone buildings, with the expos, I don't know if you know about the expos, Crystal Palace, every single city up Australia, Melbourne, New York, San Francisco, Chicago, London, all had the expo in the mid-1800s, 1847 mark, around there exists. Every single one of them burnt down a fire, even in Melbourne, even in Chicago. You can look at the pictures of the one in Philadelphia, and the whole of Philadelphia no longer exists. Same as San Francisco after the earthquake, there's nothing left there. So why did they destroy these really ornate buildings made out of solid granite and stone?
The question is how?
Sorry, Wilson. Hello?
I've seen it, I believe. Yeah, I'm on the A48 motorway. So Roman Road goes from Chepstow to Carmarthen, and it eventually links up with Watling Street, the longest Roman road in Britain. So it's right outside the house of Roman Road. Now, I've seen this shit, okay? Now, to me, I think they're lying about the timeline to such an extent. The Romans not a distant past. I don't believe any of it was. I believe that everything that's been handed to us has been made up. I don't know how they did it or when they did it. Maybe around the Enlightenment, the Renaissance period of 500 years ago. Maybe it all sort of was just made up then, because there's evidence for Henry VIII, isn't there? Hampton Court's there. Although it's made of red brick, it looks like it was built by London Borough Council 100 years ago. You got to look at it. So nothing seems to fit with the top 500 years ago research. You can only go back to the 1700s with my family ancestry. Adolf Hitler in the SS. If they recruited the SS, they had to prove their racist ancestry, but only back as 1750. Before then, you know, with the way they designed it all. You know, I know they've done this switch on, this time set, and we're on now at AD, at the year 4, Jesus after for some reason, and now we're on 2017 years after the event. But that didn't start 4 years after Jesus was born, did it? So when did that get initiated, this Julian calendar, this one we're on now? It's really fucking sinister. Now, what alarms me, all new corporate builds, everything's corporate now, isn't it? London, they'll knock down a beautiful building, a ugly glass-fronted corporate building, but everything they make today is temporary. Like they don't, not thinking ahead into the future any. Everything's made of corrugated iron, breeze block, and it's shit. And the new houses, they're only good for 15 years. Like the 150-year-old townhouses in town, the Victorian houses, they're still up and absolutely beautiful. Stone 150 years ago, in Victorian era. Why are they building everything so temporary now? Nothing is beautiful anymore. Nothing's made of stone anymore. Nothing's ornate. Nothing's got style, fashion. Nothing aesthetically pleasing anymore. So there's a reason for that. And it's not just corporate devil, the beast system. It's necessarily thinking ahead. They don't think it's important to look ahead to our future generation. Why? Trying to build in of any substantial, like a bridge across the Thames, the last one, the Millennium, which was a bastard in the beginning. That's just a temporary steel bridge. That won't be there in 100 years. Say, Tower Bridge is a beautiful ornate with big bastions that will be there into the future. They do nothing like that on anywhere in the world. Skyscrapers, temporary glass, steel structures with glass. They're not going to be around. Why are they only building temporary worldwide? And they're hiding out past that ahead, isn't it?
Wilson, you got anything to say?
Think they know how.
Carry on.
how.
Sorry.
Techniques.
I don't think that they know how. I don't think that anybody knew how when it happened. I think that the original people are not here, that they don't know how to do what they did.
Maybe
I think that the pyramids had a specific they had a specific job. They made them to last the job, and it did its job well. And all of these structures, which were very, very important, along with the flood and knowing that a lot of megalithic structures are halfway in underwater, that they left when the disaster happened, and we were left here with a whole bunch of things we don't know how to use.
The megalithic is wrong. How they portray it, they portray the what they call the late Bronze Age or whatever, the megalithic era, that all of humanity, no matter where they were on the plane, suddenly started to get fascination with building great massive monoliths or whatever out of giant pieces of stone and possibly move. At the same time, it's megalith either. Something else going on with the megalith, specifically Baalbek. If you study that, you think, I don't think it's in the vast antiquity, as they're saying, is what I'm saying. There's so many aspects. They're always focusing on ancient Rome. Yet nobody focuses on Carthage. And Carthage was as powerful as Rome. They were the rivals for Rome. But they've been wiped out of the story. It's really strange why Carthage is not in the story. Not even in the history books. All Rome, because of the Vatican influence. It's really weird. In antiquity, I've seen too many of these things. The Colosseums and all of these. Like the Minoan stuff in Santorini and Crete. That was supposed to have happened after an earth or a volcano followed by an earthquake. But immaculate. The paintings look like they were made yesterday. All of the pillars could be Washington, could be Moscow, could be same architecture replicated. So it is. It's a civilization of people who are no longer with us. I don't believe they'd lose all that tech, because in cathedrals, they say Lincoln Cathedral, which was the highest building in the world, the Empire building, believe it or not, Lincoln Cathedral, they say it took 500 years. That's alone, 800 years, generation after generation, would work on the same thing. We put that into the context of what it could be doing with our reality, our false construct, taking us away from Mother Nature, all of our psychic abilities, all what we truly are, because we are so much more than they've been telling us. We got what they're using against knowledge, we've actually got, but they're keeping it for themselves, they're using it against us. It's shit. And for evil.
In a way, though, Martin, it has come along quite a long way. If you imagine, like a year ago, or just over a year ago, they started saying that the pyramids were something different, and now look what everybody's talking about. Now look what you've looked into. I mean, it has moved on quite a lot in the last year, just not quick enough for some of us. We just want it to move quicker, don't we?
I don't know. Eric Dubé said yesterday he thinks it's not going to come out in this lifetime. He sort of inherited this. We're going to be like an indigo children or a precursor for a future generation, laying it down for them, and it won't seep over into the consciousness in our lifetime.
Say one thing.
I really haven't.
The one thing I've noticed with the bigger YouTubers is that none of them really want to forge forward and create something and move on. They just want to wait. Because they want to wait till it happens.
Why? You know why? Simple.
Merchandise.
Look, they're going to lose it then. You've got 150,000 and then it comes mainstream. They're not going to need to. They won't be able to make posts anymore. They're going to lose it all. If you keep it in a nice little package where it don't spill over and keep, they can write books and stuff.
It doesn't mean all of them, but a lot of them don't seem to want to come together and make this look bigger. And I just don't get it. Anyway, I've sort of got this feeling it's going to be down to us to move this forward. All of us, here now.
It's down to the common man.
It's us lot.
Arty-farties. It really is. It really is. There's only us lot, the common man. There's a few few in America, but I can't get Jews, really safe or not. But still, this underlying thing with personal attacks still going on. It's still happening, where people are attacking other channels for a hangout and just going on about other people, whether or not it's true. New people turning up and getting all of the focus and making other people feel a bit left out. And this happens, in YouTube, people do feel left out and shit. That's just egocentric, obviously. Popular YouTube, that shit starts to fucking happen. I had a fucking little taste of it way back about a year ago when I started to go, well, no, I fucking hate it now. It's pathetic. Really fucking pathetic.
try and steer clear of all that. We try and stay clear of all that because
following some around, laying on a beach, take photographs.
In a way, it's to stand alone, but you'll have to be capable of standing alone to begin with. Actually, to have a fundament for yourself, to stay for yourself, to stand for yourself.
I'm freelance, brother. I've always been a loner. I'm not one for like. I'm not being funny. Like I say, I'm not one for groups, and I like to with my I want to be friends with everybody.
Aww.
I don't want to be picky. I can't go there. I can't go there. I can't go there because they're not speaking to them, and they're not speaking to them. I'm not going to live like that. I don't think like that.
You won't find that in our group, Martin.
What?
Well, you're not. We get on with each other. We're here because we want to move things forward. We are a lot of people that come on the Hangouts.
People pushing forward.
Our research.
In which way?
They're all researchers. They're not.
Hundreds of thousands are in the YouTubers. There's my other link coming through. I gotta go on there too. How many YouTubers? There's hundreds of thousands. Say Jerry, got them. Russian vids, and if they opened together, there'd be hundreds of thousands. All their subs, they'd be enough to charter a fucking fleet for an entire expedition and put it all the rest. They'd do that. Think as a whole together because there's a lack of trust. Treasurer. We had Matt Poland when he said he was going to gather money to an Antarctica expedition. And he was going to have lovely J. Forbes, Jennifer Forbes, his treasurer. But that is laid dormant. That's not going forward.
In a way, the nobody's actually do it. But
well, I feel really proud of us lot. We've got loads of researchers. We've got Dave Marsh. We've got so many people who every day go out filming. Okay, we've got some of the bigger names in our group. We've got Gary doing the Flat Earth Convention. I think that we're doing really well, guys. Plus, I'm going to have another hangout with some of these people. We need to somehow.
Karen, same as me. Wake up in the morning, like every day when I get up, I just plan my week ahead, like what I'm going to do. And, I'm thinking like scheming about getting on the back of a news feed because the one show was in my city a week ago, right? It was going out to millions of people and it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes away. I thought, get in a taxi, get down, stand behind those people who are standing up in the opening Cardiff Bay in a BBC One show. And but it wouldn't give me enough time. The show was 20 minutes in. It was finished in 10 minutes. But feature and anchors doing news feeds out of the city, yeah. And I'm thinking, see, worldwide. Thinking, fuck me, if you don't edit that and that goes out real time, if you got behind there, truth bomb them, that's a biggie. That's millions worldwide. Although you think you were nuts, but what the hell? People are going to look at it if you put it right. Research flat Earth. They lie about everything. The Earth is flat. What always finds this level?
Mind you, there is like two sides to you, though, isn't there, Martin? There's a side that's very jovial and funny and all that, but there's this other side. You're a very deep person and you've got a lot of knowledge, and I like that side of you. I like hearing more about what you've researched and things.
I go down all different avenues. It's all on the flat plane, so I don't suppose it matters. But, a lot of people knowledge of books is any good. But I know how to discern. I just can't say the word. I know how to work it out. I know what to look for. I can work out what's true and what's not. And if it has been handed to us, I can just go down different avenues of investigation and find out if that's true, like I did with the American Civil War.
Do you know what I reckon, Martin?
I put in a dozen fucking books on it.
Martin, in a video, I put this lady on one of my videos. She was probably a medium, but she regressed people. And the one thing that she found was that they were waivers. There was the first wave, the second wave, and the third wave. The first wave just got sent here and it's a bit like probably didn't really want to be here. The second was, and I've just got this feeling because of our ages that you're an antenna. Series is one, Wilson's one, because all this knowledge is coming to you.
Well, anyway, it's just been sitting there laying dormant. I've had a lot of useless knowledge sitting around for a long time. No one gave a fuck about. Nobody really wanted to hear, to be honest. I didn't think they did. Particularly Flat Earth and the YouTube came along. And I started to talk. People found it interesting and that was it. But, I got fucking 30 years of fucking conspiracy stuck up in my head here. I've been doing this for a long, long time. Flat Earth, like everything else that we talk about. And,
how long have you been a flat earther for?
I think, Jesus Christ, I was talking about 30 years ago, But when they're young, they don't really know, so.
How long have you been a flat earther for, then?
Old. Yeah, sorry?
How long have you been a flat earther for? When was it that it hit you that there was something very wrong?
Childhood.
Childhood.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand school. I couldn't be told what to do. I fucking hated teachers. I was proper anarchic. I grew up on my father's shit, and I was always like different from everyone else. Felt different. Everyone knew I was different. When I went to school, I had this like skinhead gang that got organised, so I never ever got bullied. I had a little like nice little protection racket going where I earned a good bit of money and went home loaded every day. Clever guy. I was on my father's ship, jetting off here and there, and with my mother and my sister full. I never really had a normal life like anyone else. It was really weird. And I knew there was something like a thorn in my side. I knew there was something wrong. I never put my finger on it. I was thinking it was alien intervention and involved in some alien abduction scenario. Certain things had happened, and then it arrived, and then it landed. Oh shit, of course, the ball was alive. And then everything just fell into place. You know, the gameplay and hiding the shape of where we live and why they hide the shape of where we live. You know, the evolution, the Big Bang, the whole bullshit to go with it. Yeah, anyway, I never give the Big Bang credence. I knew that was tactic, singularity, giving birth to all this. I was fucking tactic idea. Something on nothing anyway. I'm just fucking cross. Ooh, man. They're very demonic, these people. I can see it in their faces, especially that Richard Dawkins. He looks evil. Devil's bitch. My picture's coming on. I do pictures every day.
How's your mum then?
This is Antonio's last night. I got different hangouts. I make different pictures. Oh look, there's a little azimuthal thing there on a little footboard. See that there? That's my head in, and I do these crazy ass pictures when I'm talking to people, because it helps create new neural pathways, especially with my music as well. So I'm a big believer in elasticity of the brain. I'm a big believer in creating new neural order. Eustace said antenna effect. You're talking about. That's why I grew my hair long, you see. I always believed it. That Samson and Delilah, when she cut off his hair and took his strength. The Rosicrucianists, you know, that Maria Ostrovich and the Rosicrucianist movement, you know, the Thulas, they believed that they were antennas the same, mediums the same, but they were apparently thinking that they were communicating with somebody from up there. It could have been laterally, it could be interdimensionally, but they grew their hair down back because they believed that long hair helped this psychic ability, because the hair follicles basically go into the fluids and help sort of thought processes of picking up this information from the Akashic records, which it does. So that's why they cut your hair off in the army. When you get to prison, they cut your hair off. Concentration camp, cut your hair off. Why? They always cut your hair off. Take that away.
Mother.
Nice.
Hair.
I got my
antennas.
Spiritual antennas, brother. That's why men always had long hair before, years ago. They knew. Yeah, man. Spiritual antennas. Exactly that. And that's why they take
so simple, isn't it? It was such a simple thing.
That's a simple thing. The hair. And I'm telling you, it's true. I just know it.
I've got really long hair. I've got really long hair.
The nerve. Every hair has a single nerve back to the brain in that sense.
Women are more in tune with Mother Nature anyway, Karen. They always are. They're just more spiritual by nature. I don't know what it is, but women are more in tune with the vibrations, the rhythms of nature. Maybe because you give birth, maybe something to do with that. I think with this Western indoctrination, men have got more away from left brain thinking. They're scared to get in contact with their feminine side in case it's frowned upon as, well, you're getting thin and caring and being a good human being. This is about, you know.
You know what they've done, Martin, though, don't you?
Side of your brain.
Martin, in the olden days, people got married and had their roles, didn't they? And then comes the 60s and the flower power, and then the roles go out the window. And now no one knows the role. Like men used to, I know in the olden days, men would do the cars and the garden, and the women would do the houses and the children. And now we just don't need each other, or there's no roles, there's nothing. And so.
Well, that was by design. You know, in the 1980s, power. And then, you know, this woman power came in, you know, in the days of the yuppies. And then the clothes, the women's clothes reflected this. They wore large shoulders like this in the 80s, and big hair, so they could be more masculine. And then women moved into Times Square and the big business, and they maybe got big, you know, before then, they never got into, this was a man's game. They never let women play. Women had a place. Margaret Thatcher was the first of her sort, and she was a prime minister, and she had hell in a female in chambers. It's a fact. She got ridiculed. But, I mean, they've been suppressed by men, and that's it. Ends off. Through time. That is it. Women got as much to give to reality as men, if not more, because of their caring nature, and they've been suppressed by men. You're
not allowed to be a sensitive person, are you? You know, you're a sensitive positive person, and you're not allowed to be in this world. You've got to be egotistical instead and say, I'd go away. It's so sad, but hopefully now we're starting to change that by, you know, more hangouts, more talks, more conventions or conferences, more...
Like I said, give me something to aspire to, Karen. That's what I want to do. Like, if we, you know, I've changed my life. I turned it wrong. And if I can just carry on, like, you know, with, you know, just showing them how to live their life, you know, a better life on a flat plane, knowing there's a creator, knowing that God's watching you, knowing if you do it right and you're true, the universe will be all what you need. As long as you're grateful for what you got, because if you're not, you won't get any more. And just show the people how reality works, you know, with intent and manifestation of your reality, for, you know, for the good of everybody else as a whole. We all did that. Reality would be one sweet thing. It is. It's moving towards it because the flat earthers are getting like it.
It's almost like a sin, isn't it? It's a sin to be nice, you know, and I try and be nice. What do you want to be? Horrible?
It's hard, though. It's the world of pain, though, Karen. I've been like this all my life, and all I've had is been fucking... This is why I don't have people around me, right? I get fucked over, I get used, I get shit on. Now, I know it's happening. When it's happening, because of who I am, I put up, right? Because, like, or I love them, or something like that. But they will keep on doing it. It's of caring in this life. Everybody else around you don't. It is a curse, love. You're not nice, I swear. It's not nice.
Yeah.
You're always upset, you're always in pain.
One of Karen's videos, actually, she put out with a lady who explains, like, kind of why you're feeling the way you are, maybe.
Me, I
can't remember. Karen, you probably remember the video I'm talking about, where she explains the different stages of people coming down and stuff.
Yeah, I can send Martin the link to that one, just so that you can just watch it and know that, you know, this is what this lady was saying. You probably go, I've watched that. I can't remember her name offhand.
I guess about 200 links or something plus a day sent to me. I can't go through everything. I go fucking crazy amounts.
This one may make you feel a little bit better about the position.
Better about what? I'm fucking epically happy. I'm fucking content.
Well, you know what I mean, but I know things get you down and stuff, and like you say...
Not anymore. Not anymore. I've separated myself. Haven't you seen a change in me lately?
I've got to say, you have seemed more...
Because I've separated myself from emotion and people type for the sake of flat earth, and I'm treating it more, not business-like, that's a bad way of putting it, but the flat earth and its way forward is my first and only, and, you know, helping people as well, but the rest, that can just take a back burner for me. You know, it really can. I'm quite happy, Pat. I'm giggling fits constantly. The only times I get down, I bring it on myself. And I bring it on myself through being a muppy and putting up with shit when I don't have to. That's the only thing I do.
Admit you can be a muppet from time to time. There's too many people out there that won't say they're wrong and won't say they did this bit wrong and that bit wrong. And you're always constantly saying, look, I'm changing here. I'm evolving just like everyone else.
So. Yeah, I put my life and it changes on film, which people are watching. It's hard. So I got a constant fucking narrative of my life. People telling me, you know, what I should do and what changes I should make and how I should live my life. And I have fucking emails, people telling me what I should do, where I should go, how I should do this, how I should do that on a constant daily basis because I've lived my life openly. But
also, Martin, there's another part as well. Like I said, there's this jovial side of you and the bit you like talking, but a lot of people don't realise, probably out of the whole lot of them, you're the most clever one. And they haven't realised. You're a very deep person. You know a lot of information. You were talking about the civil wars. You've got what you think happened to us now. You know, you're really looking into things. And I don't think people understand that part of you, that you've got all that. And I think you're much more clever than them.
No, they do. The people who know me do. You know, it's not really that. I just don't think that, you know, there's enough people banging on about NASA and orbital mechanics. I could do all of that field, but I've got to be honest, I don't believe that it's going to help us. We can't work out what's going on up there above us. It's too theoretical. It's too fucking, even if they were stars, they were just too vast and too far away. Not that I believe that for a second, but I don't think that would help us. I just think that's going to keep you on a roundabout forever. I think we should just work what's down here, tweak, not looking for people to blame either, like some people want to do. Just work out a way where we can get something positive about not just necessarily getting out to the public. I'm on about getting out there and having a look. We need to do. And then if they show up to fuck us off, then we're going to know there's something seriously up. But if we don't probe on the internet, the cows come on, but there's people placed in here to fucking play us, and they're from think tanks, and they're really intelligent, and they're like the masters of a multi-dimensional game of chess, and they're well ahead of us. These things down, they think about, they anticipate how a person will react, and if you watch Martin Lika, and they can anticipate how I would act lost over a certain thing, emotional tie, this, that, the other. There's a very clever bit. But, so you have to be really super vigilant and try to be careful, especially with flat earth, because you don't know what's what. You don't know what's what. And if this information, this subject, we know is real, aka we know the enemy will be watching, and we know that we're using the enemy's tool, publicised, against them. You work that out. We're using YouTube, the beast's system, to promote the freedom of humanity. Whoa! But they don't think that it was going to happen as big as this. Was moving as quick as this. I think they thought it was just going to be laughed out. They thought they'd introduce, no fucking forest on the trees and things like this, and then we would be just put into a category of we would just believe anything, and then we would have been just laughed out of any conspiracy movement or truther movement, and that's where it was going to go. Everyone was clever enough.
I think Flat Earth's got so big. We were talking to Mark Sargent.
Do anything you want in spare time, but not as a main forceful direct fucking narrative for the flat earthers. That was just going to be disastrous for us. That was. Water's fucking level. The sea's fucking supposed to be 72% of the plane, aka it's all flat. It doesn't take a genius to work it out. This stuff's simple. It's like you're the genius to work it out. All sides of it fucking maths for a mountain of bullshit we can't work out. There's only a 20% you do calculus.
Talking to Martin, we were talking to Mark Sargent the other day, and he was having an interview. Someone was coming round because YouTube have changed one of the search engines, which means they've basically knocked out Flat Earth. You can get to it one way,
right?
But I think it's when you put Flat Earth in one of the search engines, they've basically taken all the numbers off. They've devalued the viewing, and yet there's such a viewing for it.
I know there is millions. There was a link Russian put out yesterday. I got the link. I put it on my Facebook. If you click it, it takes you to a website, which is a sort of like a space website, but there's a cat on the favourites bar, which just says Flat Earth. Comes down, there's everything on there about Flat Earth. Everything. And it's a mainstream website, but the information is really deep. On the conspiracies, the false flag, things, the fluoride, the work. Really cool. It's on my Facebook.
Are you a Flat Earther?
Talking of Flat Earth stuff, sorry, just at the moment, did anyone else catch Phuket World's video the other day where he put the scales underwater and put the rock on it and showed that it was only weighing half, and well, where's gravity there? Surely it should be weighing more with the weight of the water on top.
He's a master at it, mate. I thought you could meet him if you like. He's a fucking real good friend. Call me on one of these if you like. Speaks to him nearly every couple of days or so.
Well, it's cool to get as many people as we can in here, especially if we go on Facebook to get him in the group as well, because he's in Thailand, isn't he? So we could really do some readings from there.
Yeah, he's a top bloke, I swear. He's from, Mother Nature aspect, Mother Earth aspect. Really lovely guy, honestly. His family's beautiful. The Thai lady got little kind of Thai kids. They're so cute. But if you have that link there, guys, it's a new website. You've got to see the Flat Earth information on there. I've got another present for you here. This is off of Randall, which is Mr. One Princess. Basically, he's been reckons he's under attack. That was the 700 of his images in a pack. You only got to click and it comes up, and it's all hundreds of Flat Earth maps, hundreds of azimuthals and wicked Flat Earth pictures. I'll give them to you now.
So,
thank you kindly.
You're a Flat Earther that wants this to come out, aren't you? You're a soldier, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing it for humanity. I don't care if it sounds cliched. I don't care what it sounds like. For humanity, I don't think it's right that they're putting these rockets up, intended to put rockets up, spending all that fucking money, 85 fucking million a fucking day, when you've got to have it. I can't live with it. I've been to the third world. I fucking just don't feel right about half the world starving and the West has got too much to eat and we throw away our shitty burgers. Yet the other people would just put in the fucking context how they would feel towards us for the way we live. I know it's social conditioning, but it's just so wrong. We're all complacent to it. I think everyone heard World as a child just to see how shit it fucking is and how people live, and maybe they'll look at their Western life.
Which is also every dollar we put in there, $2 is taken out by business.
Corrupt government.
Beast.
Terrible, mate. Honestly, Africa's West Africa is hell, and their morals are through as a response to it, and they really don't think well of us. Really a terrible place.
And then thinking about how they actually could build a greenhouse in the middle of the desert by just harvesting the water out of the air.
Well, look at Gaddafi, what he done, man. He was such a good man. His people loved him. He had free education and he had free health service, and he made a giant irrigation system out of the Sahara where he found an aquifer underground, and he channel to right in Tripoli. Tripoli was the best and most expensive city in the whole of the African continent, more than Johannesburg, more than Durban or Cape Town. It was just a country in Africa and Libya at the time when Gaddafi was there. He was hated. He wasn't an insider. He wasn't CIA. He was outsider then. The American military bombed water course, which he spent all that money on to give the water to the people of Tripoli. Why would you even do that? Why would you take the water away from people? From me, Gaddafi. It's all a psyop. The guy was outside of them. Their control. That's why. Saddam Hussein wasn't. Saddam Hussein was a CIA operative.
It's practically Revelation 12:13 happening in that nations are who are not acting in the sense that they're believing in the protocols of the beast.
I think that they're actually doing it to fit, if that makes sense, rather than the prophecy actually for being fulfilled. I think they actually follow the course of the prophecy, like one in a temple on Table Mount. I think they actually want to fulfill the prophecies.
Yeah, it's the Most High's story. What has to carry out anyway.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen, etc., etc.
Yeah, that happening before our eyes right now. If I was a paranoid person, I'm not a global believer. I think these were the end times. When I believed there were nuclear weapons, I would have believed that was war was coming. But it's what they want you to believe, isn't it? I noticed the look on people's faces in Britain. Everyone's scared.
That's right, but that the devil is captured in a sense. People are freed, and that is the end of the devil's play of the fallen angels. That whole game is actually breaking down.
Well, the fallen angels, all right, okay. And what if they say that they come down and they're on the earthly plane and they're trapped? Fallen angels, they could be just souls trapped in human bodies, because souls are just trapped in these meat bags, aren't they? They can't get out unless they just, the body dies and it's released. We could begin.
Of the EPS are based on actually programming you with something with a soldier, for example, from keeping yourself from, and the whole deep message in all the gurus is know thyself. The gurus, because they know themselves, and the only message they have is know yourself, and that is the whole thing of the mind manipulation, of the ego manipulation, and of the stroking of the ego, and out of that duality game, in where you have to choose one of the two instead of the middle way, in where the only freedom is to be found, and taking the actual responsibility you have anyway for your freedom, rather than give it away all the time and depending on somebody else writing your book because of the authority you give away. You are the author of your life, and you can make sure.
Imagine laying there at life when you're old and you're dying thinking, Christ, I've done nothing in my life out of my own mind. I've just done everything everybody else told me and what everyone else thought for me. And you never done anything for yourself. What a waste of a life. Yeah, you're quite right there, mate.
Yeah, my brother has something like, I do what you don't tell me.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've never done as I'm told. I'm terrible for it. I'm just like for anybody who thinks they got power over you. I call it powder power. I do. I've got a name for it. I rebel badly against it.
If you ask me, itself is called the utopy because it's something like imagined what is reachable.
Yeah.
And that's
we might not be able to work out what's happening.
Actual reality of what the truth is. Actual reality is what we are.
Yeah, it might not be obtainable, the knowledge we're actually seeking, because, I don't know why we even presume we can understand the mind of the creator. Look at Fibonacci. I don't know.Maybe it is obtainable. Maybe it is. Maybe for me just won't understand. If we're not intelligent enough or something.
The goal of the whole conclusion that we only have to fear the Most High commandments, but that is the whole duty of man, and that's the duty. That's all of the duty. And the essence of fearing the Most High is actually fearing nothing else anymore. Not the devil, not death, not any danger, whatever. Aware of what you are in here and now.
Yeah, I don't any of it. I had like someone in my comments saying yesterday about, because I mentioned London, he said 5 minutes from London Bridge. You're in Wales, aren't you? How would you like it if I come and make you pay you a visit? Sure, I've done a post today by my front door to show my front door number in case he makes a mistake coming, But you see the shit I got to put up with, guys? These sort of people thinking because I'm open and I'm honest and I got my life on the table, they think they can somehow, try it. I can go down easy, I'll never do. like you said, I'm a fighter. I am. That's why I do this.
You're
I
a
knew
bit
I'd
more
get somewhere in
public
the
than we
beginning,
are.
so-
We've been in invite only because we're researching,
Yeah,
but you're a bit more in the public eye, aren't you, than we are?
Yeah, but there's hangouts happening, right? Which you just drawing. And this hangout we just spent like a half hour talking just now. It's like 50 times better than that, right? It's just old information, 30-year-old for myself, and certain people bossing about the telling them what to do and how to think and how to behave, control. Again, now that is no fucking good. That is no good. Like you said, everyone's got our specific skills in this, haven't we? We have like an army, different people doing different jobs, but as a whole, but we don't. It's really weird, especially with the nature of this business. You think people would wake fucking up and be really clever. People don't get it.
What to do?
Well, maybe
Split second.
deal with this now, see, and I'm getting I'm not frustrated, but I am a bit. But it's just it's been scary because the whole no sheep on a flat earth. You can tell these people anything, and if they're not kept in check, they'll run with it. They'll be put on the back burner. Whoa, hang on a minute, that's by design, or things are put into track. They spend like literally thousands of hours talked about, and a whole month will fucking be pissed away on flat earth research, but except for one or two on that. So all of that is just bullshit. So I ignore it.
Exactly. My idea is understood of what the model actually is, in the sense of that it is a realm. It is a looping sequence in north-south, the same, but way bigger. Other essence through the whole cloud of life. The actual development is the sky has six-dimensional level going on top of us, and it becomes completely spiritual in that sense that you are actually the spirit.
That's what's happening.
Essence, but you're just not aware of.
Spirit's having a human experience here, and that's what people are missing. They're thinking they're humans having an experience. If they say, well, I'm spiritual, I'm having a spiritual experience, but they're not. The spirit's having a human experience. They always have been. People, I think the biggest sin of all, guys, is ignorance in this,
You are the spirit having a human experience.
That's a new phrase you've just coined there, Martin, because I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? We're spiritual beings, and that's the bit they just don't want you to be.
Exactly. That's what people forget.
That's out of this getting to the whole 5th, 6th, 7th, and up to 13th, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's dimensions there, and that's a fucking fact. I know that. I've experienced them in my reality, and I know some of them are really close by. I even think there's a dimension, and I think that it's really close by, millimeters away, so tight that it's twisting, basically. I believe that they can see us, but we can't see them.
Our bodies are multidimensional as well.
They are. They're vibrating at the speed of light, or the atoms that are supposed to be there, if they are in reality, are apparently vibrating at the speed of light. Or if you need of light, because we need of water, and you look at the chemical compound, we're actually like creatures going down to a condensed state, so you can actually see us.
What's this bit where I tried to, I think I might have mentioned this before, when they do all this mediumship and that, it's in the Welsh blood a lot, this spirits and guides and stuff like that, but what I noticed was whenever I've watched one or been in one, they never ever say that anybody on the other side is back. They've never come back. They're always still on the other side. Your father has not come back.
That is.
Your uncle didn't come back.
I'm a believer in the cycle of reincarnation. I believe people is karmically connected. I believe if you're close, and through your will, you will link up with this soul. Well, they may not have the same body, but you will certainly feel an energetic connection, a recognition. You know this person, you've met them before, you don't know how, but it feels the same. The vibration of this person is when people click. And I believe this is karmic. I believe that we come here to guises, different bodies, but our souls always remain the same eternally. We never die. We just keep on going. We keep on going. This feels like a classroom to me. This feels like a learning curve. That we're just a test or something. Like we're being tested, given us free will, do what we want under a limited 5-century deprivation. Was a bit of a shit compared to animals. We will, but most people use this free will to do shitty things. But That's not what he had in mind. You know, he gave us, like you said, the 10 Commandments, but that's already hard coded in our heart. We don't go off killing. We don't go off dishonoring the 10 Commandments. That's just there in our heart. But other people who deliberately go out of their way to break these things. Well, no, God gave them free will. He gave them the choice. He did. But I think it feels like a test, don't it, guys? You're right. Well, we got to come back again and again.
Yeah, because
self-realization and the spiritual journey, it's awakening. It is.
You think when you've got to flat Earth, it's the end, but it's not. It's only the beginning.
Yeah, I was self-realised and awake before I found flat Earth. I was just saying it didn't change that much. It's just everything that was wrong with my life, what was missing, and you know what that edgy feeling was of not, you know, wrong with this place. I was thinking also lots of strength because nothing was making sense, and then the globe came a lot. You know, the globe was alive. Me, I just fucking knew that was it. Oh my God!
And you said that you felt like this though, didn't you? You said that you knew as a child.
Yeah, we all. Yeah, we're all like children now, aren't we? Starting over, you know, trying to find our way in with we are where we are, who we are, and when we are. You know, we don't know when, we don't know what the time is, we don't know what the plane is. You know, what else is out there? What's up there? What's down below? Only what the academia, which we're finding out are all like child molested, fucking evil factors. We've been, oh my God, help us! Why did we do that? Why did we put our faith in science? Why did humanity has, hasn't it? They'll come up with any shit, guys. They'll make it up, and by the Monday, it will be believed by every human on the planet. Tennis, you know, they come up with that. Everyone thinks it's real, you know, a month ago. This new world, people are talking about looking forward to go into this new world. It came up on the news again last night, and now I can't wait for freaking Musk to go and do a slingshot around the moon. It'd be interesting in a year's time. I can't wait for that. They're ramping it up big time. They're going to go to the moon,
isn't it? They destroyed everything to go to the moon, but they can go to Mars now.
It's just ridiculous. You don't lose the technology. Look, some information back then. I remember the world of the 60s. I remember the world of the 70s. Everything was shit. Everything broke in rockets, moved, slingshot it around and put them back down. It's pathetic. You can't do it now. They couldn't do it then. Something up there blocking them, and I believe it's a dome now. I'm starting to believe it is. I never did before, but I don't know. That book there, sort of, can't believe everything in a book. But
Alan's found it as a frequency, and Wilson's been talking quite a lot that maybe it's some other water up there. You know, clouds have water in them, don't they? Clouds have water in them, and they stay up there.
On a standalone unit that actually can regenerate its own energy in the sense of 220 volt and to actually have power. But I'm still waiting on building it and doing it to actually tune it to use. Possible.
I got a radiator behind me on, and it's fucking middle of summer.
Yeah, it's got a bit cold right now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's going to get worse tomorrow, Karen. It's going to be proper cold.
Really? No.
10 degrees.
Oh my goodness, no. We're nearly coming up for the longest day. No.
Next month, we know what's happening. Oh, to it. I love flat Earth meets, I do. And Patricia's flying over from America and all. That'll be quite cool.
Yeah, I think she's coming to those meets, isn't she?
To one another for the sake of the fucking FE. I would really love that. And I have been trying to make it happen, but seems they can't act like adults for some reason. But there you go.
I saw the video about the cat, and now Antonio was going a bit all funny over it, and you were listening to it. Didn't know where to look, did you?
It's awful, mate. I hate it when you're in a chat and there's all atmosphere and you're brought into it and you're like, oh God. You just wish they could all just get on for the sake of the FE if they can. You know, it's just for the sake of the FE, you think. But whatever. Don't get involved, mate. It's nothing to do with me. People's relationships. I don't give a shit.
I think all we want to do is actually sort of get on and have a life and obviously become a better community, make more friends, and all they've got other plans. All these other plans, which the bit that upsets me the most is the bit that's upset me the most is that what most people don't realise, those that haven't woken up yet, is that given a full sense of reality, it doesn't exist. It never happened. Like space and these wars and that. And they don't realise they're living in, they just, like, their whole life's a lie anyway. None of it's real. And you're given this fake reality.
Mark Sargent's post today. That was good.
I didn't. I haven't looked.
It's mirrored off Darrenism. It's just flat earthers making statements.
I'll have a look.
Flat Earth. There's a load of kids on there. It's really funny. One of them says, and that's just full of shit. It's only about 6 or something. I'm on there.
You're on there.
Yeah, I'm on there. I look about 12 and green as grass as well.
Oh.
When I first came out, it was terrible. I looked so shocked. My face looks in shock. Honestly,
Poor Martin.
I know, poor me. Indeed, I do. I look fucking terrified.
You probably were then, weren't you?
What it was. I had to post it because I couldn't fucking sit on that knowledge for any longer and not talk to another flat earther. I was going off my head, thinking I need to sort of talk to somebody else, see if they feel the same. I can't go on like this. And I posted, and within a day, I was in contact with friends with Nick, Pumpkin Word, GeoShifter, other people, Jeff Stewart, other people, all in within a day of posting. Crazy, innit?
Yeah, but also,
I didn't take it long.
Some of us have been a bit frustrated when there's so much information to show it's a lie. I mean, how NASA's still going. I mean, it's almost as if mistakes. It's that bad.
Did you see that one when, what was the name? Bling Bling posted, right, Karen, a couple of days ago. A French astronaut deliberately tied a fly. Now, I think he done it deliberately. I don't think he done it out of being a good person, though. He just played games. She froze the picture. She marked down on the reflection in the tablet. 3 different shots as well, 3 different angles. There's 3 people on the space station. A guy with a pair of glasses and a beard. Another guy with a mask on. And another guy as well, quite plump. 3 guys, not members of the crew.
Oh, she's good, Bling Bling. I like Bling Bling. She's the one. I took some off of her video last weekend because she had the moon. Well, she showed the NASA. The moon was coming in, and the moon was a disc, and it turned on its side.
Good, it was good. She's good. Catches it.
Yeah. But again, I think if you study these videos, you find all these mistakes. I found paused astronauts and things like that. That means those men weren't together.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel.
On YouTube, there. You go through.
Sorry, say that again.
On old YouTube, you go through old tubes of NASA, do you?
I've gone through a few because it was starting to annoy me. Once you find one, you're gonna, you find the mistake, and then you watch the whole thing again, and then you watch it again and again, and then suddenly you can find more and more of them. Like a paused astronaut. That means they weren't together. That means they filmed them separately at different times. It means it's fake.
I gotta go and make it a cuppa and a bit of munch. I got no choice.
It means it was fake.
Do you need a break? You just give me a break?
Yeah, sure.
What's my picture, Kat? That's Karen's picture.
Oh, that's what you've been drawing today?
I've been just now in the last 10 minutes. It's on you. I got stacked on there. Every single flat earther. I got pictures like the Antonio one, there's the Nathan one, there's the days ago. It actually looks like him as well. He's in the driving seat. That's the poncho couple of days ago. It's crazy, isn't it? So I do them. As I said, it's just for a brain exercise, a mental exercise. I find if you just, even though we're talking and you're still using your brain and that, but I find by dawdling works better. My brain works better.
So what was the one like for our hangout then? Again?
I'm just nuts. I know. I always do trippy pictures.
Series will probably like them.
And you leave it over to consciousness. Consciousness takes over. Same as Itmar with his circles in Russia, in Estonia. And he comes up with sacred geometry. But you can you leave about 9% consciousness take over, and then it just takes over, and you come up with the unbelievable, absolutely stunning. Each one is individual to its creator. You can never replicate it. So clever. Compass and a pencil. Start with a center point and just do concentric circular flower with Fibonacci.
That series is favourite thing, isn't it? Series is the flower.
It's a biggie. To me, it's cast iron proof of the creator. To me, it is. You can just see nature, the way it replicates, screams creator to me. There's no way this is no way we're an accident. Yeah, this is an accident. This is it really. I know we got things wrong with us, guys. I know we have colds and we got an appendix, and there are problems with a bigger plan. I don't think we ever see the other side. It's like tapestry, the back of the tapestry. The needlework that's made the tapestry.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the other side, the bigger picture. I feel it's something like that picture. And we're the big part of it, flat earthers. I think it's such a beautiful, important thing. Anyone should underestimate. It only takes one person to change the world, Cara.
Yeah.
But have enough belief and enough faith and just do it. That's it. See what happens. Just don't doubt. That's what I believe. I never doubt.
I think what also we're trying to do as well is that instead of thinking, well, if flat earth comes, I'm trying to, or promoting that flat earth is here. I know we're always flat, but, you know, the ones that are asleep. So flat Earth is here. It's here. It's always been here. But
I know that, like, you know, it's plenty to do in the interim period in case, you know, going for this big frigging worldwide change and everything's brilliant, like, yeah, excellent. But, yeah, wait here.
And do you know what
ranks and your life's just going to change. The information's going to free you.
Do you know what I think some of it's about? I did sort of, again, I put it in one of my videos, but, you know, if they want us to look behind us, there's wars, pain, there's depression, lack of money, poverty. You look to the future and you think terrorists, wars, and they've broken down the family today, but really flat Earth's about being here and now, and they don't want you here and now, do they? They want you either broken families, fear of the past, fear of the future.
What you doing, lad?
That's what I think. But flat Earth's about being here and now.
I'll show you got no left, don't worry. I got going out with no Karen. This is my duty of the evening.
What's happening?
And make a cuppa, and then I'll get back online.
Okay then.
Anyway, guys, I got my caring to do. 24 hours for me.
Does that mean you're going? Does that mean you're going, or you're coming back in a minute?
I got no choice. I don't know. I can have a little waltz around. I got a stack of fucking emails I haven't touched today. Honest to God, I've been on here since I got back at 6 o'clock. I haven't got off yet.
Okay, just let me come back then and say goodbye to you.
All right then. I just need to sort it out a minute. Right, she's gonna go off and try and make things for herself. That could be dangerous. No, I can't do anything. See, I gotta do it all.
So I've just pressed my button. I should be coming back.
What's that, guy? What's up, you guy?
I'm just saying that email will be with you in a few minutes.
All right then. I'll get on there. I got
Thanks, mate.
It's taking a long time to cut. It's not releasing I'm trying to get my camera to come back, but it's really slow. But if you, that's happening now. It's happening. I'm coming back. There I am.
Yeah. Whoa, you're real.
Yeah, I'm real.
Am I fuzzy? I'm coming through all right. No, I look all right there, don't I? That's all right.
Oh, thanks so much for coming on the hangout. Does everybody want to say goodbye to Martin then?
You guys?
Bye, Martin.
All right, catch you later. Don't forget, we got these meets. We'll have to hook up, guys. Chance.
Yeah. Oh, who's got Teddy going?
I'll be at Blackpool and Leamington.
Yeah, I mean, cool.
And we'll get you back on a hangout, Martin. We'll get you back on a hangout. Get you back on a hangout. We'll have to nab you. Nab you back on a hangout.
Anyone else nabs me?
Who's got the telly on?
Copyright. Doesn't beef for anything, I swear. I got 2 copyrights in my bin now, tweet. Manchester.
No.
So, if I can, yeah, I got 2 copyrights, and another one blocked, and then it's to me for once from a year ago. You don't want me talking. PK, now I'm a bit worried, like, I'm trying to back up, but I got a bad drive. I got 400 videos to download in 2 weeks. I'm only 40 odd in. Otherwise, if I had like a channel closed, I'd lose it all. I've got a second channel in case they kill me and I can set up on there. It won't be the end of the world, like, but channel. But they're definitely after us, no doubt about it. Been coming in about what they're doing to us.
Mind you, Martin, you're trying to tell everybody that Manchester was a hoax, and they don't like that, do they? Because the whole point was to cause what they did, and to, you know, like they don't want people.
Only, you know, to view, this was different. This was really different. I mean, there was some attack, and paragraph after paragraph, and it was a team of them. And I managed to track one of them down, but one of the women, she took a video. I know who she is. And that was, and it was stalking. And they didn't even care if Manchester was a hoax or not. That's not what that was about. I was just attacked because I was opening my mouth. Tracked the done a trail to her, tracked it down, and that woman was on a video. I found her, hating at that. That's why she came after me. Oh my God. I had 3 emails. Please get that woman off your comments or I'm going. I can't stand her more. She was that bad. I'm not joking. On the bell. God, she was the devil's sport. Fucking more place in hell for that woman. I can tell you.
There's always got to be one.
Look, I get them all. I don't care anyway. It's all part of it. I don't. The work, Sim gang. Too much hard work.
Also, you're probably too busy to get into all that.
I'm terrible, honest. All fucking day I gotta out and do my shit. Honestly, it's fucking crazy. I don't mind. I'm not moaning. It's just crazy how busy I am. I'll be up till 5 now, 4 o'clock in the morning, going through my comments and going through my mail this then. That's how long it takes me. At least. All right. I'm getting hassle. I gotta go.
Thank you for joining us, Martin. Thank you.
Frankie.
Bye.
See you soon.
Yes, see you soon. Thank you. Thank you. you. was that Martin making a noise then? Shall we just finish recording for the group now? So we'll finish recording. Everybody say goodbye. Hope everybody's enjoyed watching.
Bye.